What's happening, plebs? Welcome to a new segment that I'll be trying to do weekly. It's called This Week in Yu-Gi-Oh! And basically it's going to be ideally on Mondays because that's after the weekend when big events have taken place. I'll be discussing a meta watch, the marketplace, new cards, reprints, leaks, cool kind of just generic Yu-Gi-Oh! News, just everything that you guys would probably want to know that's happened in the past week for those of you who work too hard or study all the time. You don't really have too much to keep up with the game. Hopefully this will be a good way for you guys to stay in touch with Yu-Gi-Oh! In just a quick 10-15 minute segment every Monday. Hopefully that I'll have the time to provide for you guys. So be easy on this first episode here because I'm kind of new to this and I just need to get my pace and stuff right. Hopefully spend enough time going over each day, so leave me some good constructive criticism in the comment section. I'd love to hear how you think I can improve this, because I do want to make it a weekly thing, and I have a feeling that it's got some potential, just as a thing on YouTube. So first things first, let's just get into some fun news. First thing we've got here to show you guys, on the 11th of January, there was a new sneak peek clip released by Konami for the new Dark Side of Dimension movies, and it's well, let's have a look.
What's this? I can summon my high-level monsters without paying any cost?
Correct. In this duel, you won't be summoning monsters in the normal fashion. You'll be dimension summoning. Furthermore, you are allowed to choose how many attack and defense points each of your monsters have.
And how do I do that exactly?
Fair.
By infusing your spirit energy. But you can't exceed your monster's original point total.
Fine then. These new rules will make crushing you simpler than before!
That's basically the little segment that I wanted to talk about. I'll leave this clip in the description. Everything that I go over, I'll leave in the description as a link. So basically, Yu-Gi-Oh! Movie coming out, Dimension Summoning. Could it have an impact for the TCG game? Are we going to be seeing new things in the card game itself? We could do. New mechanics, something like that, down the line this year. Who knows? I think the trailers look amazing. The quality of the animations and stuff is fantastic. So I'm pretty excited for that. So a little bit of movie coverage there for you guys. Moving on to the next thing, we've got YCS Sydney 2017, the first YCS of the year, and it is a pretty interesting one. So in my last video I was a little bit harsh for the day one breakdown, so let's just go over it a little bit again. People decided to play Metal Foes ABC as the kind of two strongest heavyweight decks. Metal Foes showing up a little bit more than ABC compared to Bochum. But there was a big showing from Blue Eyes, surprisingly. Blue Eyes was almost rogue for Bochum. There's a number of reasons for that. People either realized that Metal Foes was the best deck, and Blue Eyes tends to have, it's got the inherent floodgate against Pendulum, so people probably thought, Blue Eyes is a good contender against that. You've got the Graveyard Negate as well with against Paleos, so it was kind of a sort of good a meta call to an extent. Everything else there isn't really particularly surprising, other than the fact that Burning Abyss is now considered rogue by Konami. It wasn't mentioned, and it's in the other section, so that's quite interesting. That was day one. On to day two, we have for the top cut, 12 slots by Metal Foes. If this thing doesn't get hit soon, I'll be surprised. Half the top cut is pretty ridiculous. ABC following with 7, and then Paleozoic Frog. Again, same as Bochum, taking the highest number of top cut spots based off of its representation. It didn't have as many spots represented in the entire day, but it took the most number of spots out of top cut based on how much it was represented by. So I mean, it's pretty crazy to think, however, that Metal Foes probably edges just a little bit ahead of it in terms of its representation, but there's nothing particularly surprising here other than the fact that there was a huge turnout from Blue Eyes and one topped. 2 Cosmos as well, I think, is bonkers. I don't know, I'd love to get those deck profiles. But yeah, for everything else, it seems fairly standard to what we would expect, and I think it's a good end to the format. We're kind of just sick of this stuff. We just want the new DDDs to come in, the new Zodiacs. DDDs of course live this week, so more to talk about them next week. So yeah, this has really been the top cut breakdown for Sydney. Now over into the OCG, we have the metagame of the start of this of the new year. Between the 1st and the 9th of January, we've got I believe this is a collection from 15 tournaments, 75 top performing decks from 15 tournaments that were held in Japan, China, Philippines, and Taiwan during the first week of this year. So as we can see here, Zodiacs, almost a third, Pure Zoo, of course, and then Infernoid's taking about a quarter, Eidolon's about 20%, and then Zoo Metalfoes, Zoo Magician, others, 10% Rogue, probably with a Zoo engine. I'd be curious to know what this invoked actually gets broken down to. So as you can see here, it says 11 of these Eidolon decks was actually Eidolon Zoo. 2 Artifact Wind Witch Eidolon, 2 Artifact Zoo Eidolon, and 1 Kaiju Zoo variant in here as well. So as for the Pure Zoo, we've got 8 Kaijus, 1 Artifact, and 1 Paleozoic Artifact. That's interesting. So yeah, kind of stuff that we would perhaps expect coming into our metagame this February. Next up, we've got a new structure deck, I believe. It's got dinosaur support. So the first thing we saw was this card here called Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. Now basically you can, it's like a dinosaur BLS. You special summon it by banishing 2 dinosaurs from your graveyard. Once per turn, destroy a monster you control or have in your hand, and if you do, change all face up monsters your opponent controls to face down, and then it can attack all your opponent's monsters once each, and at the start of the damage step you can burn them for 1,000, and send that defense position monster to the graveyard. So you can use the effect, flip everything, attack everything, send them all to the graveyard, and burn for like 3,000-4,000 or something, depending on how many. So this is a really good boss battle, just because of how easy this is to summon. Is really, really strong, especially with the new support here. We can see there's a bunch of new dinosaurs. So I'm not going to read them out because again we're just here for clarity and just as a general idea to give you, but I'm not going to read all of them. But we can see that there's a new level 4 here. It's pretty good. This thing here, we've got a little +1 on this dinosaur dude. You can just search out one of your other dinosaurs. The second effect is that you can target a dinosaur in the field, accept itself, destroy it, and then special dinosaur from your graveyard in defense. So, and there's a lot of synergy with the dinosaurs with destroying themselves, etc. The field spell is very, very good. Once per turn, if a normal monster in the field would be destroyed by a battle or card effect, you can destroy the same number of dinosaur type monsters from your hand or deck instead. So the idea is you want to fill up your deck to be able to just bring them back. And then use this trap card as well. Special summon level 4 lower dinosaur type monster from your deck. Oh, sorry, my mistake. I thought this could summon from the graveyard. This summons from your deck though, which is still really strong. This new trap card, a little bit slow because it is a trap card, but I feel like Konami's overcompensating with trap cards by trying to give them secondary effects in the graveyard. So this thing here, banish this from your graveyard, target 1 dinosaur you control and 1 card your opponent controls and destroy them. So a Raigeki break from the graveyard there is pretty strong. I'd be curious to see how this plays out, just because of the boss monster. The Tyranno seems really good, really good. Other new cards we've seen, Bao Baboon. I've already done a bit of a video on this, but basically this thing has no once per turn clause. When this card is normal or special, draw 1 and then put 1 card back to your deck. If it is destroyed by a card effect or battle, you can special summon any number of Bao Baboons from your deck. So you can summon it, use the effect, draw, put something back. Metalfoe scale, pop it, special 2, draw 2, put 2 back, overlay for Invoker, summon Momorat. Nice deck. The new card we've seen here is Eternal Nightmares. It's a continuous trap card. You can pay 1,000 life points, target 1 face-up spell, trap card in the field, destroy it. You can only activate this effect of Eternal Nightmares once per chain. So Konami are destroying pendulums more. It's basically just a continuous MST. You try activate a scale, bang, 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 bang. There goes your scales. You're not playing through this. So anti-spell with this gives you 6 cards that you can open up with, potentially going first against Pendulum, to not even give them a chance to play the game. Obviously this is a little bit more fair than anti-spell, but you know, it'll be interesting to see what direction they go. Are they setting us up for an anti-spell ban? Who knows? Next card is Ghost Ash and Beautiful Spring. Now this was a lot better than sorry, this card is not as good as I expected it to be because of some translation issues. But basically, during either player's turn, when your opponent activates a card or effect that includes an effect that adds a card from the main deck to the hand, special summons a monster from the main deck, or sends a card from the main deck to the graveyard, discard this and negate it. So this thing can negate Maxi, Foolish Burial, Triangle of the Zodiac, a whole bunch of things. Previously, it never used to say main deck, so this would negate Brilliant Fusion, Instant Fusion, etc. Potentially, it actually does still negate Brilliant Fusion because you summon from deck, but Instant Fusion was a really big thing that I thought this thing could negate, but it's actually main deck. So this thing is really strong. It's just, you know, another one of those Ghost Reaper cards. It's probably gonna be played. There isn't too many decks that it doesn't hurt, honestly. Every deck this day and age searches to some extent. So it'll be cool to see how this goes forward. And that's about it for all the kind of main cards that have been shown to us over the past week. One final thing I wanted to show was we have the sneak peek spoiler list and mat revealed from Raging Tempest. All we have is speculation here, but if we zoom in super close, we can see here is a generic fusion monster here that isn't an Eidolon, because these fusion monsters up here should be the Eidolons. All these black monsters are Xyz monsters, they are the Zodiacs, but this fusion out here on its own on the right is the quote-unquote most broken card without an effect, as Konami says. So we don't even have a name yet, but this is as close as we're going to get to seeing the new spoiler list, at least for now, until the 24th of January when they finally reveal what this new fusion monster is, and probably a little bit more as well. Now, finally, let's move on to the marketplace. So, we have Crystal Wing here, still extremely high. If I were you and you're not planning to play DDD, I would potentially sell this card now while it's sitting at about 50 euros. It doesn't, as far as I think, there's no real Zodiac variant that utilizes Crystal Wing. The Eidolon deck can make it if you're playing the Wind Witches. But but this is primarily because of the DDD hype. If you're not playing DDD, I would probably sell this up now. The next on the hype list is Lagia, as of course we've just been over. There's a whole bunch of new dinosaur support, so the Ulti Lagias are shooting up. Generally the stuff is pretty cheap anyway because a lot of it is in the tins, but hey, if you want to be flashy, Ulti Lagias, as you can see over the last few days, they've been spiking pretty high. We're sitting at about, you know, 13 euros for a good condition one. Next up, Slumber has just been spiking all over the place, but it's been climbing for like the last few days significantly, just because of the fact that Kaiju Zoo is probably going to be one of the better variants of Zodiac, so there's that to take into consideration. MX Saber Invoker is again another very expensive card, dipped a little yesterday, but we're still sitting at a solid, you know, 40 euros roundabout for like a decent condition one. There's one going here for 34 euros. I might pick that up myself. So it's, as you can imagine, you can play this in any deck that can make a level 3 and bring out Momorat from your deck and go from there. Hope Harbinger, this has spiked to its all-time high today. It is sitting at about 10 euros, 10, 11 euros. Again, this is DDD hype. I wouldn't let this phase me too much if I were you, just because of the fact that it's DDD only card. So unless you plan to play the deck, then, you know, this could probably concern you. If you haven't got yours yet, you should go get that right now. But yeah, so the final card that I want to go over, Dimension Barrier, sitting at the most expensive card in the game currently, other than your obvious prize cards and like Tyler the Great Warrior and all these various anomalies. Yeah, you're looking to spend about 52, 53 euros for a single D barrier. This thing has been climbing and spiking, but it's almost an all-time high now. As of yesterday, it's, yeah. As you can imagine, it's just a generically amazing card that shuts down absolutely every deck ever created, apart from like Blue Eyes maybe. It's going to be a huge contender in the ban list, I think. Sorry, in the new meta. I actually don't think it will be hitting the ban list because we're still to see some reprints. If you haven't got yours yet, well, where were you on New Year when it was sitting at like 50 euros? Well, a little bit not that much cheaper, but yeah, it's always been an expensive card. So currently the most expensive card in the game. Alright, thanks for watching, everyone. This has been your This Week in Yu-Gi-Oh! Again, give me some constructive feedback in the comments and tell me how I can improve this. I think I've hit my mark just about of 15 minutes where I want to be for a weekly segment. So yeah, let me know what you guys think down below. Do you think this was done a little bit too fast? Should I go slower? Should I go over some things more? Did I miss anything out this week? Let me know down below, and I'll see you next time.